Okay, so today we're going to talk about lug jars. And what are they? Well, lug jars are the same ones that are used for just about everything in your supermarket. So when we have a look here, you can see we have, small juice bottles. They've got lug lids on them. Passata jars with lug lids on them. We have all sorts of things that have all been put through the canner, and we have stuff that have been pickled in the canner, in again different size lug jars. We have things like salads, cucumber sandwich cubes, jams, even canned potato salad, and in the big jar I use them for pickled onions. So now you say, why can't you use them? You can, everybody's using them. They're much easier to use than canning jars, and for me it was just easier to match up most of my jars that I use for the same size lid. So these are an 82mm lid. Now when you look at the jars, I hope you can see all the jars here. They're all different sizes. So, these all take the same size lid. I did this on purpose so I can buy large boxes of lids and to be able to reseal all my jars. And I even use these for desserts. I do self-sourcing puddings in these. They last on the shelf for 6 months or so, and I also use them for canning rice. You can also see that I can baked beans. So some things take longer than others to can. The jars are fine. They're reusable. I wash all my jars in a dishwasher before use. So what constitutes a lug jar? It's the lid. So if you look at this is a nice clean lid. You can see it's got the lugs on it, and you can also see that it's got a nice fresh seal. This is brand new, it hasn't been used yet. I haven't used this one. It's just come out of the bag. I buy these by the hundreds. Now this is a used lid, and I rather hope that you are able to see there is a ring in there. I'll see if I tip this on a bit of an angle so that you can see that this lid has only been used once, and the sealant that's in there has been compressed by at least 50%. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see that there's already a bit of staining and discoloration on there. So now you can boil these to reuse them. It's not going to puff up the sealant at all. That'll stay there. It's already reduced 50%. So you can probably use the lid the second time, and all that's going to happen is that the lid's going to pull down tighter onto the jar and be a little harder to remove. So now what happens next after that is quite simply that after you've used it the second time, you're looking at maybe 75% compression on that seal. So the third time, the risk of that lid breaking a seal and coming loose or leaking, siphoning, all becomes very real and highly probable. So for me, for the jars I sell, it's a new lid every time. Perfect seal. Never lose a jar. Never lose a lid. Never get any siphoning. Everything comes out. They're beautiful. I clean them in case there's a little bit of smear out of the canner. I wash them in sudsy water, and then they go out on the shelf for sale. And I stopped using or reusing the lids when I stopped making stuff for myself because I had loss. I lost food. And the whole idea of canning at home is to not lose food and get to eat it at a later date. So now that's my little go about lug jars.